Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. Not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back. Sorry for my scratchy voice, but I live in upstate New York, and this time of year, the allergies are kicking my behind. So, doing a lot of nose blowing and sinus draining and coughing. So, scratched up my voice a little bit. I took a day off, so those of you who usually watch my videos, I skipped a day, that's why. But there's something I wanted to talk about. And not just Brian Stelter, this article is about. And you'll see as I go on. From the Daily Mail, exclusive, Brian Stelter's revised anti-Trump diatribe hoax tanks with less than 2,000 copies sold in its first week. Despite massive book tour and party launches, ratings for a CNN show dropped to the lowest of the year. Now, is that good news? Yeah. The guy's an asshole. I mean, even grifters are embarrassed by him. Brian Stelter's revised book Hoax has been delivered embarrassing sales in the first 2 weeks on the shelves. Data obtained by Daily Mail shows. Stelter originally released his book Hoax, Donald Trump, Fox News, and the Dangerous Distortion of Truth in August 2020 on June 8th release, but with updated version with new chapters on the January 6th Capitol riot. Dun, dun, dun. Claims of voter fraud and the rise of conservative media outlets, Newsmax, and OANN. But despite Stelter's aggressive book tour, which includes stops at CNN's Cuomo Prime Time and New Day, MSNBC, Chris Hayes, C-SPAN, and the Joe McListen Show, a podcast, a launch party, and nonstop promotion on his Twitter, the numbers are worrisome. No, they're not worrisome. They're exactly where they should be. The market has spoken. According to BookScan, Hoax just sold 1,738 copies in its first week, which left it off the publisher's weekly bestseller list. I would think. If he was on their publisher's bestseller list, that company's going to be bankrupt soon. The book doesn't even appear on Amazon's bestseller list and is ranked 4,007 behind children's books. All right. Good. I'm glad. The market has spoken. Hundreds of millions of people, the vast majority of the American people, this guy knows he's full of shit. He's just a grifter. Stelter said he added 20,000 words to the original, 13 new chapters, and even changed the cover to show faces of Fox News hosts instead of the back of Donald Trump's heads. And you'll see on there it's got Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity. And there's all his CNN pals. There's millions of dollars in that picture, folks. Now, the young lady standing up in the front is Brian's wife. There's millions and millions of dollars worth of contracts there, folks. And there isn't one decent journalist that could work for a 10,000 population city in the Midwest somewhere for their newspaper that wouldn't even hire them. Go figure. Now, I'm not going to read all of this. You can stop the video here and read as much as you want. I'll read parts of it off. This comes as Stelter's ratings continue to plummet after his followers the episode of Reliable Sources drew under 656,000 viewers in his last watch show of 2021. And that's fine. The election's over. Everybody's numbers are down, but his specifically. And, you know, Stelter's first question was, what does the press get wrong when covering Biden's agenda? That's a journalistic question, really? Psaki replied, some of our muscles have atrophied a little bit over the last few years, and there isn't a lot of recent memory or longer memory, and how long it takes to get legislation for it, or how messy the process of negotiating and the process of getting legislation across the finish line can be. Oh, my God. What's the word? What is the matador steps in when he leaves the ring? You know, this Reagan Stelter and all that. And that's great. And I'll tell you the truth, I never was an organized boycotter before. But we have to, us conservative people now have to battle back. And what we're doing is, the old expression, we're bringing a knife to a gunfight. But it's actually worse than that. They control almost all of cable news, almost all of Hollywood, all of social media, all of academia, all the colleges, all the universities, private and otherwise. The vast majority of the large public school districts, and we're seeing now smaller ones, they hold a lot of cards and they point a lot of guns, if you want to use the war metaphor, at conservative and just middle-of-the-road political people. Now, and they're playing by a whole set of different rules. What's that book, Rules for Radicals? That tells you everything you need to know and what to do. Now, here's the problem. About a year ago or so, year and a half, there was a small protest. I live in upstate New York. I'm a former council member in Binghamton. When I used to be a Democrat, when the Democrats were normal back in the early 2000s, somebody just looked at me. I was doing some filming just to get some video of racist a-hole. And I turned to the person, actually it was a guy and a girl, and I said, "You don't even know me." Now that was a normal reaction from a conservative person. But now what needs to happen is, and it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time, it's physically and mentally draining, it's relentless, and it's going to take a long time. The next time somebody does that to you, instead of just walking away and shaking your head, you put your face right in theirs and say, F you. F you, you're an asshole. And just stand there and wait for a reaction. Their heads will explode. And we need to do that over and over and over. We need to use the same weapons they use. Start going after the companies. These huge corporations, it's safe for them to kiss the ring behinds of the woke crowd because it costs them nothing. Conservative or everyday people will still go watch their movies. They'll still buy their products. They'll still watch their television shows or listen to their podcasts or whatever they do. Now is the time to say no and stand up. Is it good that nobody's buying his book? Is it good, this grifter, and I'm being kind, call him a grifter, is losing tons of money? Is it good that CNN, the rest of them, are losing? Yes, especially CNN. But it's not enough. This battle has to be taken seriously. We have to fire back. I know it's mentally and physically draining. I know it's aggravating. And I know when you walk away from an argument, you're pissed off for hours on end. And I know there's things in life that are more important to you, but this is the most important thing. We have to now engage these morons. Look at this idiot. He makes millions. All he goes after is his competition. I mean, it would be like every single McDonald's commercial from now on would be saying really nasty and really disingenuous things and lies about Burger King. And do that with every single commercial, double their ad buys, and do it for 5 or 6 years straight. Well, would that bring down some of Burger King's sales? Sure. Would some of McDonald's go up? Yeah, but they would destroy their company. And this is exactly what these guys are doing. And they think they're right. Now, I used to think that at one time that maybe a lot of them, the vast majority of them, are, no, this is all BS. All of it is BS. It just makes them a lot of money. It makes the network a lot of money. They did this before, but they really ramped it up when Trump was president and while he was running both times. And they made a fortune. They really did. They knew it was BS and they did it anyway. I'm beginning to wonder now if they're starting to believe their own crap. I don't know what they believe anymore. And that's dangerous because of the fact that if I even think they're on the edge of thinking the world is flat, we're in a lot of trouble because you can't convince a cult member. Somebody that lies for a living and knows they're lying, yeah, they'll tell you on the QT off the record, yeah, I know it's BS, but, you know, hey, you got to make a living. We're making a lot of money. The cult member, good luck. It'll take years and tens of thousands of dollars of therapy to unbrainwash somebody. So here's the thing. Candace, you're going to get it now from your children, the younger ones, middle school, high school, your kids in college. You're going to start hearing about how white people suck and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not using Brian Stelter to promote his name. I hate like hell to use it, but I'm trying to prove a point. Somebody very nicely, next time he has a book at Barnes & Noble, you see in the picture there or somewhere else, don't swear, don't be rude, don't push anybody, but put your hand up and say, Mr. Stelter, you are full of crap. You're a grifter and a liar, and I'm embarrassed for you and everyone here. And you have somebody film it, and you get out and walk out. Use their own tactics. You're not threatening anybody. You're not physically. And keep doing that. Keep doing that. Use their own tactics against them. Every time one of these morons, but not a Brian Stelter, but an everyday person, is in a group with your friends, you're going to lose some friends. You're going to lose some family members. We can never lose your family members. They're always related to you, but they might disown you or not talk to you as much or be around come holiday time. But you know what? Just like past civil wars in the United States, it has split families. It has split friends. This war is not a shooting war. What do they call that? Fourth or fifth generational warfare? Well, we're losing. When I say we, I mean the U.S. Constitution, this republic, and normal Americans. Decent, average Americans are getting ground in the dust. It's time to fight back. It's time to fight back. At every given opportunity and every situation, I know it's hard to do it at work. I know it's hard to do it during a social event. But you have to do it. Like the adults are standing up now at school board meetings. There's one in Loudoun, Virginia, and they're all over the place now. And they crossed the line. The momentum is starting to go on our side now. Do not just be an observer anymore. You have to be a participant. Even a field mouse will fight back if you corner it. And we're being cornered. And it's time to fight back. I don't want my 2.5-year-old daughter 40 years from now, when the country is just authoritarian censorship everywhere, and she finds some old history and textbooks and turns to her mother that's almost 80 and says, Mom, how come Grandpa and his generation didn't fight back? How come? Why didn't they have the courage to fight back? And my daughter will put her head down and say, I don't know, honey. I don't want that conversation to happen. Fight back. Timing is everything. And if we don't do it now, we're going to lose a lot more than you think. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.